Hello, welcome to For What It's Worth, a video blog on art, culture, and disability. I'm your host, Christopher Worth, and today's topic is a continuation of the last post. The last post talked about the disability culture and community moving away from reliance on government and or other bodies to exclusively tell us what our gifts are or what we're capable of. Today I would like to give a more physical example of what I mean by our community seeking out its own gifts. When I lived in Huntington, I started a group with a bunch of other people. It wasn't just me, including my brother Wayne and lots of other folks. We joined together to start a group called the Enable Project. This project was centered around social, political, and economic empowerment for the disabled. Now that's broad, but basically what we thought was that if we organized people in sort of in the guides of Rules for Radicals, and we gave them a place to think for themselves, then things would start to happen for our community, because as we were thinking for ourselves, we would realize that we had more gifts than we thought we did. Does that make sense? Let's say as a group we wanted to put on an event. Well, not all of us have put on an event before, or not all of us had done that. So what we were called to do as a group was find out what people were capable of in order to put on this event. Okay, things like that came up all the time. But one of the most concrete examples of a person finding his ability that came out of that group, that was not necessarily given power by the group, but this person was able to find power within himself because of the makeup of the group. This person, his name is Patrick. Patrick is a young African American person with cerebral palsy. I'm not sure I'm using people first language there. Who deals with cerebral palsy, maybe? I think language gets us bogged down so much of the time. But that's for another discussion. Anyway, so Patrick, always full of ambition, always dreaming, he thought, he would like to start his own company. So we said, what do you need to start your own company? It was an interesting idea, too. It was a very pliable idea. I'm not going to talk about it here in case he ever wants to actually start that company. But one thing that Patrick came to the table with was a drive that we talked about was that drive, that unique drive that we talked about in our last conversation. But what Patrick was missing, and this is a very concrete or tangible, as my brother Wayne would say, a thing, what he was missing was the ability to read. So what do we do? Did I link him with umpteen million agencies that teach people to read? Part of the problem there is that there's not a lot of outcome-based stuff, and you begin to be told by somebody as you're expressing your dream, well, I don't know if that's possible for you. We'll be able to tell that in a year. I didn't want that to happen to Patrick. It's happened to me. So what I said to Patrick was, let's link you with somebody in this group. And we found him a tutor within the group. A young college student. And she began to tutor him. He had a baseline for reading, but not much of one. Yet things began to happen for him. I'm not sure if his original goal is still on track, but in other words, I'm not sure he's still wanting to start a business at this point. But I can tell you that he is in community college and getting supports to move through community college. Last time I talked to him, he was actually making A's and B's in his studies. Very smart kid, never given a lot of opportunity. It was a community action that allowed him to get that, to find the tools to begin to find his gift. So as I said last time we talked, I can't tell you what the overall gifts in this community are. But I would like to see more thinkers, more artists, more scientists, I would like our goals to be broadened as a community. We have so many people graduating from college with very applicable gifts and very applicable degrees. I'm not one of them. I got a master's in art. I think it's applicable in my own way, so I'm applying it. But I'm talking about people who have background in business and all sorts of other things. We have so many people graduating with those kind of degrees, but we don't have a lot of people being hired by companies. What's going on? The problem is, what I think, and what's been made clear to me in the work I'm doing right now, is that we're just not baseline prepared. So we put the cart before the horse, and and oftentimes, like me, we have to somehow spend time catching up. I actually might do another entry today. I've got a lot of time on my hands. It snowed here in St. Louis, so most things are shut down, or schools are shut down. So my in-home care worker decided not to come. And that's fine with me, as I always say, but she didn't call me ahead of time to tell me that she wasn't coming. Go figure. Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm well. Yeah, I'm just saying hi to a neighbor. And we're done.